AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yo, I don't know if y'all ever seen Tupac's like where he's narrating his own life. I really believe he might have been the most brilliant mind in like hip hop history. You ain't just sitting there being that self-aware, and then you just like putting yourself, you turn into a gangbanger, and you just like, he was out of his mind. I think he was one of those madmen. Like he was just a crazy genius, like Kanye, but he was aggressive. You know, so big. But
I could follow that. I could definitely follow that.
Yeah, because how do you do the things that he was doing? It's like, bro, you weren't. Look at him when he's 15 years old, 16 years old. He's talking like very, and all of a sudden at 19, he's like, yo, I'm assuming if there was anybody I was a stand of, it was Tupac, bro. So a lot of Tupac fans will get mad at me just because I'm a stand does not mean I don't criticize him, bro. He turned into a blood at 25 years old. What are y'all talking about? He was wilding, bugging. Yeah, I'm just gonna show up and beat. And I know the Outlaws. I see you guys in the interviews and everything. Yo, man, how you gonna say that? He was loyal, dog. What are you talking about? You stomped out a Crip. That's the. Oh yeah, you think shots are not gonna fly? And not just a regular Crip. That wasn't just a regular. Everybody talks about him like, nah, that wasn't the guy you just. No, he's coming back.
Can somebody explain to me why Pac was spitting at the camera coming out of the courthouse that day? Can somebody like explain that? Not why he was in jail. That's not what I'm asking. I'm trying to understand that situation. Do you remember, Fabian? I know, like you said, you were a huge Pac fan, so you might remember that. Or anybody in the comments want to let me know why he was acting like a lunatic?
Head to factormeals.com/ABTV50. Factormeals.com/ABTV50. Get 50% off. 50% off. Make meal prepping easy again with Factor Meals at factormeals.com. The code is ABTV50. Head over there, show them our strength, show them what we do. Meal prepping easy again.
Get your factor on, y'all.
New evidence shows that back in 2009, the main suspect of Tupac's murder, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, was involved in an undercover investigation that implicated Diddy during a hit. We've included the audio that was released where Keefe alleges that Puff ordered $1 million for the hit. There's a lot of ties that, with New York, Puff. Damn, it's just tough for me to say, but you had Zip, Uptown legend. Zip is an Uptown legend. He's alleged to be involved in this and be a broker in this deal. And you even had a comedian, TK Kirkland. He knew Zip because TK Kirkland's an old school comedian from the 80s.
Big shout out to TK.
TK said he was living with Keefe D and he saw the $1 million allegedly. And he saw like, yo, he held on to the money because it becomes a order for hire if Keefe D completes the transaction and gives it to Keefe D. I believe that's what's holding back this whole thing. You got to be able to prove that Puff paid him, or you really don't. You really have to prove that Puff put it out there. And once you do that, it's a wrap, I think. And I believe from the beginning that this was what they were going after with Puff, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Is he a target? The same thing with Caitlin Clark. If you don't believe Puff is a target at this point, you got to be kidding me. Because they knew all this stuff about Puff for years. It's been over 2 decades he's been in the limelight. He's connected to all these people that can hinder and suppress a lot of this information from coming out. But Flea, what is your response to just, I guess, the whole scenario? When for me, it's still a shock that Keefe D comes out and that the FBI and the government are actually going after him now.
I don't think it's any surprise that Puff is connected to this whole Pac thing. I don't think that's a surprise. In fact, when Pac got murdered back in '96,
ended. We got to use these words because they use it against you apparently on YouTube.
Got you. What's the new word? Unalived?
Yes.
Right, I'm hearing people say that. I don't like that word. So
I hate it.
So I hate the word. I think it's an awful word to use. So yeah, when Pac left us back in '96, even then, and I was extremely young, 9 years old, 10 years old, whatever. But the early documentaries, the early coverage of that, yeah, Big's name was huge in that, you know, East Coast, West Coast, that all that thing was going on. But the radio stations and like even you know, my dad was where I get the bonchinchero from my pops. Like my dad used to love Wendy. And so like Wendy was early on the Puff got something to do with this wave. Right. So this is nothing new. This is just new for the world now. And because there's more eyes and ears, like I always say, that 24-hour news cycle that we have now, you know, we're gonna hear more about it. It's gonna get way more coverage than it could even get almost 30 years ago.
The media created a beef between the two most popular rappers to create division. Pac from B-More, he ain't even from the West Coast. He ain't even from the West Coast is the most hilarious part to me, that he, you know, East Coast, West Coast, he's the West Coast champion, right? Because you're absolutely right. He ain't from there. But since the rip, Pac straight out of Oakland, California, with Spark Good on you, right? He repped Oakland. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, God bless the dead, God bless Pac, God bless Big, and Shock G from Digital Underground. Pac was the roadie for them, dancing in the background, humping mannequins, whatever he was doing on stage. Right? That's West Coast. Shock G and them is from Oakland. He came out through that. He has a certain tie with them because he felt like if you look at him at 15, 16, the what do you call that when you in school for the arts in Baltimore?
Performing arts.
Yes, a performing arts student. This guy, Pac, is the definition of a performance arts guy. Everything was a performance for him. So back to your question, why was he spitting on cameras? Bro, everything he did. When do you watch a Tupac flick, a clip of him, and it's not interesting? Just everything he talks about, even when he's mad ignorant. And I'm talking about ignorant because that's what ninjas do. I'm gonna smoke weed because that's what ninjas do. What? You a Black Panther? Huh? 19-year-old kid. He was in the belly of his mom's when she was locked up as a Black Panther. This is his background. Nobody was more prepared to, as a star, to be intellectual like that guy. Tupac was a different level. None of these guys are touching him. Jay-Z is very smart. I think he's on the same level intellectually, but he wasn't as prepared to deal with the media. The media. I'm talking about, like I said earlier with the other conversation about Trump, the Black Panthers were teaching you about the media, the American twist of the media and the information. He was taught that from a baby. He's reading books. I read The Wretched of the Earth because Tupac read it in jail or something like that, according to some magazine. I read it, right? He comes back as Machiavelli. All these things that he's doing, he knows what it is. And I'm glad Fat Joe said this and nobody else said this. When you see, he's seen Tupac burst out of the crowd during that famous freestyle with him and Biggie, and Funk Flex always plays it. He said Pac came out of the crowd. He looked like Trump. What Trump looks like today, that's what Pac was back then. Yes, he was a genius, bro. Genius. He was a madman. So when you fast forward to the beef, he brought that upon himself. All the people he was hanging out with, they wasn't no. So when they say Biggie warned him, yeah, he's warning them because Biggie's a pup from Brooklyn, and he goes, yo, them older dudes you hanging out with, they're not what, you know, he ain't trying to disrespect them. He's saying, bro, they're gonna put you under the wing and they trying to like sun you. They will get you. The things you're trying to avoid in this industry, this is what it is in real life, and there are different kind of consequences. In the record industry, you just lose money. They're gonna take your money. Over here, they're gonna take, they want some blood, they want to embarrass you publicly. So it started there. It wasn't just no media creation, bro. Pac went on Vibe magazine and called out the same street dudes, and they replaced the names. They replaced Haitian Jack and Jimmy. They replaced Jimmy Henchman and Haitian Jack's name. Look at the Vibe article. They replaced those names because the guy forgot his name. He used to be on MTV, the reality TV show. Nigel something. Powell. So in the Vibe magazine, it changes everything. Sugar's gonna go bail him out. Sugar and Puff got real beef now. Wolf, allegedly Pop's Robles, Suge Man. Oh, this is it went from this is just all up in the videos, all in this. It went from that to like, nah. Now you go Scoop. You should got beef with Puff for real. Pac is starting to beef with the people that was really circling around Bad Boy. Jimmy Henry wanted to really manage Pac. All of a sudden, you got beef with them. They're from New York. They really hold a lot of weight in New York, from the street to the labels. Pac got beef with them. All of a sudden, Suge is in the fold. All right, I'll inherit your beef because it's kind of like my beef. That ain't no media creation, bro. Suge is an instigator too. Puff is an instigator. And Pac is the ultimate instigator. Do not get it twisted. Everybody, Tekashi 6ix9ine, 50 Cent, all these guys did exactly what he did. They took the KRS-One blueprint. KRS-One come out with the bridges over and called out everybody for no damn reason. He just said, you know what, I'm going to do this. This is the KRS-One blueprint, and nobody's going to talk about it. You heard it here first.
KRS did it a little illa. He was way illa with it. It was way more, it was cooler. You said Tekashi 6ix9ine.
He's the Tekashi 6ix9ine is the disgusting version of it. Because you have no music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, bro.
You have, just because you have a copycat, you have Harold Mine and you got Kobe. 50's like Kobe. And then you got Harold Mine, like, if Tekashi's even Harold Mine, but I digress. See, at that time in 96, once Pac comes out of jail, it really gets him, bro. Hit him up, comes out and all that. Puff and Big and them was trying to move really silent, but there's a lot of street things involved. So for Keefy D and them to be involved, remember Sugar's the Bloods and all that. Keefy D's a Crip, and they're cool. You talking about shot callers in the West Coast? Once you a shot caller, it's different. You can't just put out a shot like that. That it's political. We're talking about people that bring in millions and billions of dollars of attention, marketing, everything. Interscope had all kinds of. Remember, Interscope under Universal. Bad Boys with Arista, whatever it is, and that's all under Universal too, if I'm not mistaken. Universal made a hell of a lot of money off this. That's what's being lost in all this. All these players you see on the screen right now under Universal. That's what happened. So going back to the point, Pac brought a lot of this upon himself. Puff brought this a lot upon himself. And I would like to say that Biggie lost his life the most innocently, but it ain't like
careful.
Real quick.
Careful. Be careful. Be careful.
He did lose his life the most innocently, but there were moments. I'm gonna tell y'all, this is things that we peeped and we were like, oh, and we loved it because we are into the bochinche. These are things that we peeped even back then, 96, that it was like, oh, okay. That was kind of telling. This is Biggie on MTV.
My son says.
Just a little talking. Your MTV raps.
I can't really listen to that hip hop too much, really, because they be talking garbage. Some MCs is alright, but a lot of them is corny. I can't really get with them. They got that portrayal of being, first they tough, then something happened to them, they turn to God. Then when everything's cool, they tough again. I don't understand it. It's real confusing to me. So I just said, I'm just gonna listen to me and dream out there and some slow jams, because I can't deal with these characters, man. And if I hear one more rapper talk about Versace, leave it alone. It's over, y'all. It's no more. It's finished. I started it and I'm ending it. It's over. Thank you.
And y'all don't.
Chris Wiley. Talk to him, Chris Wiley. Talk to him, Chris. If I hear you niggas do that one more time, and that is early Big. What year is that? That's early Big.
No, that's not early. That's 95, 96.
Oh, it is? Okay. He looked when I'm looking at him, he doesn't look like 96, 97. Like, it doesn't look. He ain't look like money right there. Let me just say that.
Nah, he get that. They making money there, bro.
Oh, that right there? Okay.
Yeah, they making money here, bro. Nah, they making money.
Okay. No. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I rock with that. Yeah. It just, the way it looked, it didn't look like still looked like, you know, he was in grind mode. But okay, they get into it right there.
So that's him talking about Pac. First you tough, then something happens, meaning clack clack, then all of a sudden you go to God. Now you tough again. Remember, Pac made I Ain't Mad at You. He was praying. He was this. He's a conflicted guy. Pac made all kinds of songs, so everything was hypocritical. It was contradictory. So things like that, is you look back on it and you go, was Biggie that innocent? And it's, remember, this guy's on TV talking about, I mess with your girl, I got your girl. There's a lot you got to deal with your eat. Remember, everything about rap is bravado.
Yes.
You even got like the original. All right. So when Hit 'Em Up comes out, Hit 'Em Up it goes crazy. It was so shocking.
Shocking?
You couldn't believe
is the
it.
word?
Yeah. Bro, it's a shock. Nobody said that before.
I mean,
that was
I didn't expect you to use that word shocking, but okay. No, I'm rolling with you, bro. Like, okay.
And here's another thing that people don't want to talk about. Because Who Shot You is not about Pac. It's not about Tupac. It's not. But what I never thought about till a couple years ago, when people on the internet like, bro, they released it when Pac goes to jail. They released it after he got popped. Who released that? Big ain't in charge of when he releases his record. He don't leak his records. That's Puffing them. So if Puff is releasing it while this guy's getting locked up, they're saying Pac is in jail. Like, hold on, who shot you? What you trying to say?
Trying to say? Right.
And who shot you? So if y'all want to take that as a diss record, you telling me Hit 'Em Up is better than Who Shot You? I'm the biggest Pac fan live, Flea.
Ooh.
Somebody please tell me Hit 'Em Up is better than Who Shot You. If you want to go with that song for song, if that's a diss record. I don't think it is. Because if it is, that ain't even close. Who Shot You is insane. That's it. He made a hit record off a street record. Nah, man. Big was a genius.
Separate the beef from the obsolete.
Hard to creep on these Brooklyn streets. It's on.
It's on, nigga. Fuck all that bickering beef. I can hear
this. I can
hear the sweat trickling down your cheek. Your heartbeat sounds like Sasquatch thundering, shaking the concrete.
So all these things are in play. Even in 96, see, y'all don't all know this because Pac is in interviews. He's in jail and he's saying he goes to the West Coast when the interview with Sway. That's how I knew who Sway was. I didn't know the hell Sway was until I seen Pac's last interview was with that guy. He's in there talking about, yo, they make fun of all of the West Coast rappers. They making fun of all of us, bro. They got all these mixtapes. They go on the radio talking about Dog. And he's listening to the mixtape and he's listening to Puff on a Hit 'Em Up mixtape talking about real bad boys moving silence, laughing at Hit 'Em Up. What does that mean? So y'all want to play with me about what I know. We ain't gonna be no more playing. All these guys are guilty, bro. They were playing around with this. A lot of street stuff you playing around with. But the only thing is, this is different, man. Because I never thought they were. I thought, man, it's already 10 years. They're not going after nobody. We knew, especially after we found out it was, Puff was with the Crips and this guy's with the Bloods. Okay, so this looks like a gangbanging thing. I just didn't think they were tied together though. I'm still in shock, but I'm like not anymore because it's like they're going after Puff. And it's obvious. It's obvious. How much more obvious can you get?
Barbecuing him right now.
Does it have to do with the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, he won that lawsuit against Diageo with the liquor company and Puffy?
Yeah, you say he won it? He won it?
He won. That's what
nobody. He did. Yeah, he did win.
I didn't know he won until like 8 months later, and somebody goes, "Yo, he won that case, by the way." So if we want to believe that, we want to believe in conspiracies. Diageo, if I'm not mistaken, they signed The Rock. They signed with George Clooney. If they, what if they're saying, all right, you won, but did you win? Yeah, you won. You won, but you ain't really. You ain't gonna win how you really won. Diddy settles racist lawsuits against Diageo over tequila partnership. The deal will end a case in which the rapper claimed the liquor company maker typecast his De Leon tequila brand and treated it poorly because he is black. That's really all. I say it like that because it's like, yo, Puff, you did.
Yeah, you're crazy, bro.
Sean Diddy Combs, alcohol giant Diageo reached a settlement Tuesday to resolve a lawsuit over the sour tequila partnership, ending a legal battle. Combs is now facing multiple sexual assault lawsuits, claimed in that lawsuit that Diageo had breached their agreement by failing to adequately support the De Leon brand. The detailed terms of Tuesday's settlement were not disclosed, but Diageo and Combs said in a joint settlement statement that the agreement would leave the two with no ongoing business relationship, removing Combs from any further involvement in not just De Leon, but also the company's popular Ciroc vodka. So to me, it's like, I'm not the first one to say that, you know, the conspiracy thing, but what's stopping Diageo from going, you know what? You think you won $500 million, $100 million, whatever it is. Now, if you got all these lawsuits coming out, you got your $500 million, boy. If everybody's suing you, and then you gave Cassie, the young lady, 30 mil overnight. So now if all the other things line up, how much of that 100 mil, 500 mil is going to really stack up? And you got to pay taxes on it or whatever it is. And then how do you, all right, you won, but how can you see Puff marketing anything now? No Diddy.
No, he would never.
He can't.
You can't. That's over. That's over. That's over. That's over, bro. That's over.
It's sad.
There's no comeback. There's no comeback for Puff. You don't come back. You don't come back from this.
You're gonna be over there in Bali with the other guy, Russell, the other FAN, Russell Simmons.
Nah, he gonna be over in Djibouti. He gonna be over in Djibouti with Pat Bev. That's where he's gonna be, in Djibouti.
He's gonna be the sponsor of Pat Bev's team in Djibouti.
In Djibouti.
And I hate to say this, but see, there's a lot of guys with all the similar age here. Back then, it was a lot of stuff. Come on, R. Kelly. A lot of these things that were in our face that the media, speaking of media propaganda, bro, they were aligned with the same people that were giving the propaganda. How you hide R. Kelly for that long? How you hide? If you were involved with Pac's thing, how do you hide that? You got to have a media propaganda machine.
Yep.
That's all. Like, I'm not, listen, it's sad that happened because you have guys that were geniuses in Puff and Pac, but you also have business geniuses in Puff and Suge. And you can say whatever you want, whatever your opinion is about them, but these were guys that had control of a lot of money. Not just money, the power that they had over the radio. You know that Puff got Wendy Williams fired. Wendy Williams.
Know this.
He said, yo, man, you keep on there, you ain't getting my records. You think he's the first one to do that?
Bye-bye.
She almost went to Djibouti.
Almost went to Djibouti.
So my thing with that is just Puff ain't the first one to do that. That's like payola or whatever it is. That's been going on since the beginning, since the Italians were running the record labels. For real. And they still might be. Who really runs these labels? Lucien Gray and all of them that linked up with Drake. And it's just all lined up again. We see it over and over again. And it's sad. Not sad, but it's just, don't get lost in the sauce right now. This Puff news is old. It's 28 years old now. Like, in all reality, we shouldn't care about it. What's really going on? Because to me, this is nothing but, I said this 2 years ago when this thing first popped off. Where would this case take place? Flea, if this case would take place with Puff, where does it take place at? Where did Pac get popped at?
In LA. I mean Vegas, excuse me.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
It just doesn't go over my head that all of a sudden, where is the new next NBA team rumored to be?
In Vegas.
Yo, there's so many things pointing to Las Vegas. We really are living in Babylon. And I'm not a religious dude, bro. But Vegas is like the center of, hold on, that's just a little spot that we go to, and then we come back to reality and just how things are supposed to be. We are society. But they're turning the whole country into Las Vegas. They're gonna, if you have Puff there, this is gonna be bigger than the OJ trial, or just as big, or something like it. And every day is gonna be news. It's news right now. So OJ was on Channel 5 during the 90s, broadcasting his case. What do you think Puff's gonna be? Whether he wins or loses, and if he gets off, it's like OJ all over again. Yo, hold on, we know he did it. Wait a minute, right? They want that shock about it. They want to control us, and you know, it is what it is because we want to be entertained. That's the other part. Don't get it twisted like we're some innocent. No, we're not the innocent ones. We're the ones that get fooled because we're part of the 80%.
Not
Let me dig in my bag.
Not too much on Orenthal this morning. Not too much on Orenthal. Okay.
I ain't got no sympathy for those that made off, bro. Y'all made millions.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Listen, God bless the dead. I God bless everybody, bro. I don't know where y'all at, but God bless the dead. Everybody. I don't play them games. I'm just speaking my mind. I'm here on earth, giving Fabian perspective. Stop playing. I didn't even do my drop this morning.
and he did it with a straight face just now. I love it.
Why wouldn't I?
I love it.
Before we go, man, y'all show us so much love, and we gotta definitely show love to factormeals.com/abtv50. factormeals.com/abtv50. Get 50% off, y'all. Bring a variety to your meal prep. Make your day easy again with factormeals.com/abtv50. ABT50 is the code.
Get your factor on, y'all.
AllBall
Get us out of here.
They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.